What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's doing okay, man. I, I, I'm, I empathize. I really do. It's tough. It really is tough. Price go down forever. Uh, People slowly dropping off. Like myself, like I was gone. I haven't done anything in 7 months. You know, um, but for good reason. Like not not to sound selfish, but at the same time, I felt like this past 7 months, was so necessary for um, personal development, uh, financial, uh, prioritizing financials in different perspectives than what I had done. Uh, it was all good. It was all good stuff. Good break. Um, so I guess, what do I think right now? Because why not, right? What does Extra think right now? Let's hear what another person has to say about our bags going down right now. Um, I think this is a unique case of, this is going to be the best moments when you should have probably been dollar cost averaging heavier into stuff like pulse chain assets and crypto in general. Really, I mean, other than Bitcoin, like Ethereum. um, there's a couple other tokens out there that have done decently well, but I think the real opportunity still stands in pulse chain. I still think that our story is not, it's not over. I think this is just the beginning uh, of a long journey that a lot of people are going to embrace years down the road from now, and they're going to cherish these moments and how hard it was, if they're even still around, right? Like, who knows? But I think a majority of the people who are here now have a better conviction rate towards their bags than early Bitcoin holders. I really believe that. I think that if you're gonna introduce topics to why Pulse Chain is gonna fail, one of them is not, like, community is not one of them. Like, this community will need to be, like, nuked, and then whatever remains are left in the, you know whatever's left from a nuclear bomb. You're going to have to destroy that too. That's how strong this community has been in general, and that really opened my eyes and made me view crypto differently. I think that as we mature on into our crypto experience, this kind of stuff is just going to be whatever in the future. I think a lot of us right now are so dependent on success and X's and how much money can we make, how can we change our lives in the immediate right now. And that's all fine, and that's respectable, because why else would you be in cryptocurrency if it wasn't for the amount of opportunities that could be given to you? And I think, from just what I've seen, I haven't gone anywhere. I just haven't been making content, but I still pay attention heavily, and I see a very active community, an active founder, regardless of what you say, but an active founder, active devs, for certain active devs that are doing good stuff for the community. They're making things easier. They're making onboarding easier. They're making uh, accessibility to not just onboarding from fiat into the chain, but going cross chain, learning about other, helping people who are in other cryptos learn about this crypto and how easy it is to get over here from, said location. Now, a lot of these people, I will admit, the cross chain thing is, it's only going to be good for a couple of chains, because a lot of these, chains that they have listed are very, they're only solely for the network token. Like, no one's going on some of these networks and speculating on meme coins and whatever. Like, a lot of them are just like L1 dependent tokens, and people don't even care about uh, holding custody on that network of that said token, they'll keep it in Coinbase. Like they'll keep it on a Coinbase wallet where they don't have their own say so, and at the end of the day, they don't have their own say so in their money that they have, their value that they have, and they give up their control by playing it easy. And that's another thing I want to talk about is how bullish I am that Pulse Chain is going to succeed, because a lot of people are still very ignorant even to what is self-custodying your crypto. Like that's going to be a significant narrative along with privacy. I'm not going to tout these talking points because you hear it all the time from different influencers. So I'm not here to do that. But what I am saying is that I'm very optimistic. Nothing has really changed my conviction levels of this chain. If anything, they've grown stronger and stronger as the price has gone down, because that's what I've been doing. I've been dollar cost averaging into things that I like, and a lot of things I like are on Pulse Chain. With that being said, pivot a little bit to PTGC and UFO. Now, recently, if you're not aware, the UFO contracts, the one that came out 2 years ago and some change, the original UFO token, there were some problems with the farms that they discovered that there was some arbitrary, trickery being played with, the system not being fed properly, because this arbitrage bot is taking advantage of certain loopholes that most of you probably don't care about, and I'm not going to get into. But basically, the UFO token is being relaunched, and from my understanding, it's going to be better tokenomics, better game theory, in my opinion. So I'm bullish on that. I'm bullish on PTGC as well. I think PTGC is going to be one of those tokens that gives a lot of attention to Pulse Chain without it even being, planned. It's going to be one of those. I think it's going to be one of those things where, like, celebrities and hype seasons and narratives start to cultivate when we get green candles and markets turn around. PTGC is one of those coins to me that stands out, that would not only get most of Pulse Chain probably behind it at higher levels, unfortunately, but you're going to get a lot of other people coming from different places trying to get a hold of that action, because it's interesting game theory. People chased Hex, I wouldn't doubt if they're going to chase PTGC as well. I make outlandish predictions and whatever, because that's me expressing freedom of speech. Like, this is just what I think. And you shouldn't take everything I say for like face value and do everything I say or like everything I like and all that good stuff. But I do think PTGC has one of the best capabilities outside of Richard Hart ecosystem coins to really do well. What else? The pump tires coins, let me tell you guys, those coins, and I'm a big fan of PTGC and UFO. I'm a big fan of the RH core tickers. I'm a big fan of Hex, big fan of PulseX. Other coins on chain I like, whatever. The pump tires coins have something to them that is screaming to me they're probably the best buy or best hold moving forward. And that's a lot, like, and that's a very like out there statement for me to make, because I didn't believe that 7 months ago. Now, as I'm looking at their chart, as I'm looking at the volume and what sellers are doing and such, a lot of those meme coins have not only bottomed out earlier, but they've also been in an uptrend, a decent uptrend, since like late February, early March timeframes. And I don't know. I'm saying the original 20 pump tires coins that we all assume is attached to Richard Hart in some way or whatever. That's the tokens I'm talking about. I'm not talking about other stuff that people launch and that I'm not talking about that stuff. Let me be clear. I'm only talking about the coins launched from the Genesis wallet that made the original 20. That's all and if you don't know the original 20, I'm sure you can find it somewhere. I'm sure it's floating around. I think they have different like sites you can go to look at specifically. Like I think it's like the dev wallet holds like 80% of most and pump. Uh, Trump, I think they own like 60% of the supply, which is bullish. Trump's and you know what? The Trump coin, the whole Trump narrative is interesting. So I would keep my eye out on that one too. Um, and then the rest of them, I think, are like 8%. You know, it's enough to be a significant per, holder in the future, but it's not as centralized ownership as like most in pump. Um, So pump tires, I think, is really it's going to be really good meme season for that. I think what we experienced in early 2025, that was nothing. I think these coins can do a lot of numbers. Running through which is still my favorite RH core token. It's still PulseX. PulseX is something that I regularly like to DCA into. To me, I believe that is the so-called heart of Pulse Chain. I think that you're going to see the most liquidity there. The order books are going to be the largest. You're going to probably see INC getting a lot of traction from that as well. And who knows, like INC could slingshot up there as well. So overall, a lot of good things, in my opinion, that's really set up. And not to mention how the inflation on Hex is just getting smaller and smaller over time. And you know what? The thing about Hex is, and people are they're trying to read this like, oh, Hex staking is going to come back. It's, we're going to get more Hex. I don't think so, guys. I think the amount of units in Hex is only going to get smaller. I don't think it's going to ever increase unless, someone emergency unstakes or whatever. But I don't think it's going to be anyone with significant supply, in my opinion. I just don't. I think for the most part, you guys that were rolling stakes and dumping, daily, weekly, monthly, living off of Hex and whatever, those days are over, man. Unless you got like a lot of Hex stakes coming out and as price appreciates. But the real momentum with Hex, in my opinion, is going to have to be the price. And I think the price will be in a place where it'll match the units that you're getting accordingly. So, for example, if we get like a $3 all-time high Hex price, and during that duration of when it's a high price, let's say, for 8 weeks straight, you're getting, whatever your average is, right? But if you're getting, let's say, out of your T-shares, it says you're averaging like 50 Hex a day or something like that, 100 Hex a day, and Hex is $3. That's significant, and I know that most people that like you want to do the whole 555 stuff, and well, there isn't a whole lot of that anymore, but I understand the lore of like delayed gratification and all that stuff. I totally understand that. But what I am saying to you is it might not be a bad idea to keep some liquid, because I do think Hex is going to be a pretty expensive token on Pulse Chain comparatively to what it is now. Very bullish on Hex. I'm bullish on everything. I hope that Pulse Chain's price doesn't get too high, in my opinion. I kind of want to see that one sedated a little bit more, because I don't know. I don't want to see obviously I do want to see a higher price, Pulse price. I just don't want to see everything going crazy in a fashion where like we're not as sustainable as we could be. In my opinion, I think we're a more successful chain if Pulse maintains it doesn't, go as hard as PulseX and Inc. and Hex, and I want that one to kind of trail back a little bit, in my opinion, and it probably will too. It's heavier. and a lot of people are going to use that to cheat into liquidity from other tokens too. So I mean, who knows? Like we'll see. If the pump tire stuff picks up, though, we could see a higher pulse price. But I still think if I had to do an order of like which core coin, I'm not going to include ProveX in this, but if I were to say like out of the four, like which is going to do well, like the most X's, I think it's probably Hex. Technically, it's going to be Hex technically because it's going to be easier to move up, and the OA has a little bit more tricks up his sleeve to mess around with the hex inflation and how much hex is on the market and all that good stuff. But I do think Pulse X is, we've seen the OA buy Pulse X tons, right? And I would assume that there's going to be wallets that continue to buy Pulse X at a better rate, or a better rate than they have been. So I think Pulse X is going to be that performer that everyone's going to want a piece of because of the liquidity, because of the X's. And I think the founders tried to relay that a bunch of times, and then depending on if people picked up on that or not, or if they're like, "Oh no, bro, just Hex, I can't own anything else. Pulse Chain was made for Hex." So. Good stuff. You gotta love. I like making fun of OGs, the Hex OGs, because like I understand why they're the way they are. I understand it, and I'm not hating on it. I just think it's funny. Like same person who's just like all in on PDI. Like they rotated all their whatever they got, whether they sacrificed or not, whether they But if they're all in on PDI, like that's it. It's just PDI. And the same thing with PTGC. Like if you're only in PTGC and you try to have a conversation about another coin, it's like I don't even care about that because I don't own it. Most of the time, some people can have a good conversation. Like I can talk about. I don't care about talking about tokens that I don't have. Like I can be honest and say whether or not, like, oh yeah, they'll probably do fine and whatever. But I just, that's just not my investment type right now. Like I'm one of those people that I will have that conversation. Some people won't. And then people will be, oh, well, it's so good, we'll have to have it. Because I'm smart and I understand that that's not where I'm going to get the most X's. But if I were to sit down with a normie and they're like, what can I buy on Coinbase real quick? Then I have a mental like, oh, well, you buy probably that, and it's probably going to do well. Ooh, right. I mean, I personally like Pulse Chain, and I'll probably always want a dollar cost real heavy into Pulse Chain, especially if we keep around these prices. I definitely will. But yeah, sometimes people just act like they're so close-minded. Like, oh, so you can't talk about this? Why? I don't know. It's weird. Anywho, I think I'm going to keep this short and sweet. That's it. That's all I really have. I'll probably live stream as like price gets better, but I figured I'd put a feeler video out here and just update you guys. Like I'm fine. Like I'm not over here wrecked. Like didn't sell my bags, didn't capitulate, didn't whatever. I was just like trying to work on myself. I had like, everyone's got like personal issues and whatever. Mine isn't so much I had too much personal issues, or it was just like I needed to do like a mental I needed to like reboot. Like I tried to I did a nice fast, like I can continue to go to the gym, try to be outdoors and trying to, get more cardio in and, lift heavier and all that stuff. So, I just been busy. That's really it. It's not like I gave up on this community or anything. And, I appreciate everyone supporting me who's left supporting me. I know I lost a couple of people because I don't, I haven't been making content like that a lot. So it's understandable, but it's just know that it's not because like I gave up or anything. It's just like, what is there to talk about, man? Like price is just going to go down, right? Like until it doesn't. RH, no real significant RH updates have been put out there. Like, we got pump faked on that, but when there's more to talk about that's worth talking about instead of just sitting around like moping, like people will do on X and stuff like that, they'll just literally go on to spaces for like 13 hours or something like that, and they'll just be like, "See, this is what RH should have done. RH should have. And I'm not rich yet, and I still have to stick around, and I have to look at a chart, and I have to come into these spaces because I need to make sure that I need to be updated, but then I'm frustrated and I need to just cry fag and shut the fuck up. Shut up. No one cares. Nobody cares. Cool, bro, cool. Sell, buy, go away. Fuck off. So, blow the bottom out of that motherfucker. Like, send it to zero. I will buy it. I will buy it. If you don't like it, I love it. No, but I don't know, man. Like, I just can't do it. I can't stick around X like that. It just became like a bunch of sobbing, cry fagging, like, if I was RH, this is what I would have done, but I'm not. I've never seen like so many people want to LARP and be like this guy and try to make decisions like they know better. And it's like, dude, you guys need to really humble yourselves. Like, it's hard. It's hard out here, man. All right. I think that'll do it for me, guys.